realize that it's kind of a crazy night to be doing a live show, but I thought it was appropriate to focus on energy today. We are in a wild mix of energetic upside down frequencies, and the more we can learn how to operate and work within our own energy fields, the better we not only feel physically and emotionally, but we also feel the shift in those around us and the world around us. So you know what, I'm just noticing, speaking of energy, you know what I forgot to do? Since it's just you, Richard, I'm going to go close that door. 2 seconds. With it getting dark so early now, all of a sudden it changes things. I'm not used to this, the fact that it's getting dark at 5 o'clock now. So anyway, I am going through what I did this evening is I wrote up a meditation because I really want to work on a meditation. I think the world right now needs a meditation energetically to help shift the consciousness that we are being hit with on a regular basis. But before we get there, I should put my glasses on. Yes, we have all changed clock. Yes, America's even talking about moving into permanent daylight savings time, which would be fantastic. I would love it. So hi, Kristen, Richard, you guys are awesome. I love this. Richard, if I had had your phone number, I would have sent you a text too. I put out an APB if anybody had any. Love you, Sheila. Thank you for being here. If anybody had questions for this evening's topic, which is all about energy, shifting energy, how we can be in alignment with our own energy fields, how we can do some self-healing and energetic improvements so that we can also help those around the planet, because right now Earth is in, I don't want to say dire need, but definitely in some need of some assistance, and that's where we have to be the participant now. We have been complacent for far too long as human beings, and we have to jump on board. We have to be willing to step up and do some energy work. So with that, let's just dive in. Or, you know, you guys give me feedback. I've had so much fun. Before I do that, I always get so excited about, okay, I got to talk about this, talk about that. I've done this every week now as I've pulled a energy card or a crystal oracle card, because I just like working with stones. My whole house is filled with stones and gemstones. And so tonight's card is so perfect because for those of us here in the United States, just to let you know, our election was a landslide for Jacinta. Is that how you pronounce her, I hope? Jacinta Ardern. Well, you'll have to fill us in if that is a good thing or not, because honestly, here in the United States, we don't get feedback much. And I would love your personal input on that. So with your elections behind you and with ours coming up tomorrow, which will affect the entire planet, is this is the card I got. This is really exciting, folks, because here in the United States, it's been so discordant, so disrupting. The riots have been very, very strong within Portland, up and down the West Coast, of course, Minneapolis, New York. Portland's been hit one of the hardest in the nation. And so with that said, to pull a card that's calcite, that's what it looks like. I don't know if you can see it very well. But this is what's really fun. This is really awesome. This is very a strong, good omen. The card is all about energy, which is what we're working with today, is energy, vitality, enhanced memory, which is really good because too many people have become very, very complacent with their, oh, did away with guns when I first started up on buses first. Interesting. Again, Richard, we're going to have a conversation about that. That's interesting. We have been back to this. We've been very complacent. We rely on our phones for everything. GPS, we don't think about it anymore. We think about GPS on our phone or in a car. We don't think about where we are, the location on the planet. We are not connected anymore. And this particular stone is working with enhanced memory. This is really a fantastic thing because we need to enhance our memories. This is great. It's also about studying, so the more we can learn about everything that's going on, taking the deep dive into the different information from one side of the continent and one side of the planet to the other, the more we can be on top of things, so we can study. So, because in my opinion, information is king combined. Hi Sam. I love you. This is great, guys. This is my good buddy pal. He's like my brother, my twin brother in Minneapolis. This is, the more we know, folks, the more we know, the more, again, we have the opportunity to combine our intuition with our heart, right? Our intuition and our intellect with our heart and our awareness from our heart to our intellect. It's a great combination. So again, studying information is king. This stone also, for Sam, you are new, we are talking about calcite, is all about communication, and we need to learn how to communicate like we are right now from around the world, because Richard is in New Zealand. For Sam, you didn't know, and Sheila's in Oregon, and Chrissy is in Georgia, right? So we've got people all over. Is that the more we learn how to communicate with each other, because language is essential, that's what can unite all of us, then we have the opportunity to help change the planet, change the nations, change the provinces, the states, the counties, the cities, ourselves. It's really great. And expansion. So to me, to pull this, because this is a card for the next week, expansion. This to me, you have to understand this. This is really cool. I just wrote my newsletter today, and it was about the fact that the agenda that's being pushed on the planet is about progressiveness. But that comes with an anachronism or an opposition, because they're talking about progressive restrictions, because with progressivism we have more and more and more controls, so it's very constrictive. Human beings are not meant to be constricted or restricted. We are meant to expand our consciousness. So this card says to me that the universal energies, the human essences, are reaching out, banding together around the globe to expand our awareness, to expand our intuition, our intellect, our graciousness, our goodness to one another. So energy, vitality, enhanced memory, study, communication, and expansion. I love this. This is absolutely, it made me so happy, because here in the States, the negativity wrapped around the election has been pretty overwhelming. And so, oh, thank you, Richard. I appreciate that. I'm glad you got that. So yes, you get it. Constricted. Think about that. Progressive restriction doesn't work. So to get a card that says the opposite, the universe to me has been in alignment with where I've been putting my energies today, which is all about awareness, expansion, communication. I've communicated with so many people today, it's hilarious. You'd think I wouldn't want to talk tonight, actually. So what I did is I put out kind of an APB for questions that I'm going to intermingle them with tonight. I'm going to pull them over because they work with what I'm going to talk about. And for those of you who know, I wrote this book, Soul Rays, and Discover the Vibratory Frequency of Your Soul. And it's learning how to work, again, with your own energy fields so that we can work with what is around us and within us. And I've got let's see, this is one of the good questions that I got today, is how do I not let the events of the world not affect me and my energy fields? And this is really essential, because again, I don't care if you're in New Zealand or in Canada or Mexico, it doesn't matter where we are. It's just we've been bombarded by all this different dark, frustrating, not so happy energy. I'm not going to say too many words on that in that respect, but everybody knows what I'm talking about. That's the best part. I don't have to say anything, and yet you know what I'm talking about. So with that said, how do we not let that outside stress impact us? How do we not let that negativity impact who we are? And the most important thing that I can say from true experience, from doing energy work for so many decades now, is we always begin in the morning, at night. As you can tell, I'm already starting to move from the crown up and around us, and then down and grounding into the planet, so that we have this encompassing light all the way around us, above us, below us. And how we do that is through intention. We have to be in alignment with our intention of being connected to Source and having this light of energy surround us, so that we have this boundary, literally a boundary. And the boundary is not to keep others away, it's to keep the negativity away, to keep the events of the day away, because it's so overwhelming. Not everybody has the ability to look at the news, read the news, look at this thing and the other, and not take it on. energetically. It's easy for it to latch onto our energy fields. And the reason is because we are not, I don't want to use the word protection again, but we are not encased in our alignment and protected from the negative energies that come in. So if you have this boundary of light above you, below you, around you every day, then imagine this again as this field that energy comes there and slides off like Teflon right there. That's why staying surrounded in this light is essential for your transformation. And when you do that, look through the headlights, impossible. Exactly. If you start doing that, then you have the ability to be the observer, to, as someone has said recently, be the witness, so that you can observe it without taking it on. And that's what shifts things. When we allow that energy to come in and kind of wash over us like a tidal wave, and then what it does is it moves us right on out of that energy space, right out of our energy light, then we are not any longer really connected to source and to our higher self. Essentially, I always put it right up here above us, which is, it's more of a visual rather than the truth, because we need to have something as human beings. We need to have that visual so that we know where to put our focus and our attention. So when we raise our consciousness from our heart through our throat, up through our intuition and our visionary self, when we come up here and we connect with the aspect of who we are eternally in the divine cosmos, then we have that alignment going on a regular basis. Again, in the everyday world, throws us out, moves us out here because we're stressed, we're unhappy, we watch the news, we become fearful. There's so much fear propagated right now, it's insane. And what's really sad is that so many of the sheeple, and I don't even like saying it, but it's just true, so many of the population of this place, hi Tracy, nice to have you here, dear. So many of the people on the planet are sheeple. They're caught in the rhetoric, they're caught in the fear, they are caught in the old stories, and it keeps them there. I got into another, I just walked away from it, a debate, I'll call it a debate, with a man I've known my whole life, and he's so caught in the fear, and then they love to shame and blame, and so it's easy when you get caught up into those movements, that energy exchanges to whoop, outside of your light, right? So again, it is a very mindful intention on a regular basis to be surrounded above you, below you, around you in this light. Very important. Now, what that means light-wise, you can stay in your light, you can stay in a white light, if you will. For those who are familiar, and I think everybody in the chat right now is familiar with your soul ray frequencies, which are different color vibrations, and we'll go through them fairly quickly just to kind of give you an overview, and then I'll go back to different questions. But it's this piece, if you start visualizing that light, and light is absolutely real, and then from here, okay, this is where we start every single day. It will change your life, okay, right here. A cocoon, absolutely, that'll work. A cocoon of light around you, above you, below you. You are the sun in your orbit. I mean, yeah, you are the sun in your orbit, meaning that you are right here. You're surrounded with light all around you, and all the other people and the players are in your life are out here in the orbit. But the key is for you to always be in that radius of that sunlight, so it is nice and strong, okay, right here. So this is how you, and there's no, one of the other questions is how can you shift your energy from negative to positive to a positive mindset, and how can it impact your life goals? Well, this is how you start when you wake up, when you go to the bathroom. Everybody here has heard me say that. When you go to the bathroom, great time to multitask. It is a wonderful time to close that door on everybody else. It is another time to be when you're sitting at a stoplight, when you are eating your lunch, when you're going to sleep. I don't care. Just get in the habit of setting that intention of attention, obviously, to that alignment within yourself, with your heart, alignment to your heart and light energies. When you are in this space, this is when life changes. This is when you have the ability to start activating your own healing. You have the ability then to activate and send out love from this place of alignment to others, which then inspires them. This is one of the other questions I had. Let me see. Let's see. How do I instruct others. No, that's not it. Yes, how can we access rays to benefit our own healing? And so when you know your own soul ray, and again, we will get into it, then in that alignment, you can start working through your own body through the energy of the light and the color of that soul ray frequency. Because let's be honest, everything is frequency, everything is energy, whether it is this blanket, to the door, to these glasses, to our bodies, everything has energy and frequency. Everything actually has consciousness. Why? Because the desk that I have my things on is wood. The wood has consciousness because it was a tree. Tree has consciousness. Everything has a frequency of light in it, with the exception of the shadow that has crept upon this planet. And there is a lot of that going on. So the more we're in our alignment with our light, then we get to shine and illuminate those shadows, which is really fun. So imagine this, and I'll keep interspersing the questions. Imagine this, before we were born, we were on the other side. And in that moment of choice, of decision, we decided that we're going to be born in, Yugoslavia or Timbuktu or little old state in Oregon, whatever. And you choose your family, you choose your body, you choose your vision, you choose your hearing, you choose everything, and you choose your date stamp, which is your your astrological sign, and you choose your soul ray frequency, because what it does, it helps guide and track your life path. Now, it's very interesting. Subsequently to me writing this book, golly, it's been a long time ago. I'm close to 10 years ago now, my Soul Rays book. I've read different things, old books, old texts of other people talking about the color of the soul. And I thought, I'm on track. This is so good, because I just cleared off the tables and started writing. Now, what's fascinating about that, again, these are from other people's perspectives, and that each lifetime we can choose the particular soul ray frequency, the color that we need to reside in, so that we can expand our experiences. Sometimes we need to repeat until we get the experience completely worked out within our consciousness. So can we evolve through the colors? I believe we can, and I also believe that we take those colors with us. And again, you can have repeating patterns as we rise up in frequency value. And I think it's fascinating. I've always thought that we change on purpose, which of course we do. However, I also feel it's part of our evolutionary process. And I'll give you an example. This is before we get to the soul frequency. Again, we get to choose that soul ray. I'm going to give a history lesson. When we were, way back when, we've been on the planet for 6 billion years, 2 billion years now. And then we moved through the different eons and the centuries and the millennial and all those different aspects. We were originally the hunter-gatherers. That was a very red frequency. That's all about tribal. That's all about survival. And we, as a consciousness, as human beings, a lot of us were in that frequency. As we evolved in time, we moved into the orange frequency. We're moving up our chakras, which also corresponds to soul rays. And through the orange ray, this is all about family, sexuality, learning, knowledge. So we moved up out of the tribal aspect of it into more connective one-on-one relationships. And so we moved out of the red, and more people moved up into the orange ray. And then we moved up into the yellow ray, which is where we have been. The yellow frequency has been our mode of operation now for quite some time. And I can't say how many tens of thousands of years, honestly. I need to sit down and see if I can peg it. Right now, I would say it really started with the fall of Atlantis and the rise up of the next aspect of civilization that we know of. And some of that is basically between 8 to 10,000 BC. And I feel that we have been in that yellow frequency. Even though we've moved through the astrological charts, we've been in Pisces for the last 2,160 years now, we're just moving into Aquarius. But the yellow frequency has been all about empowerment and disempowerment. And that's exactly where we have been. It's third chakra energies, and that's why we have been dealing with so much angst and power manipulation over the last 6,000 years, because that's the frequency that we've been in, residing as a planet, as a culture, as humanity. With this advent, this shift, this 12,000 year shift as we move into Aquarius, we are moving out of the third density, that solar plexus, willpower, self-esteem, self-confidence, over our disempowerment, overpowering others. We're moving up into the heart frequency, that fourth dimensional frequency, as we move into the fifth. So we're moving out of the yellow into the green and into the blue. Now, we will continue to do this and evolve in consciousness as human beings. Big picture. Now, into a individual picture, now it comes back to us and our individual soul ray frequencies. We have been not only on this planet, we've probably been in other planets. Rumor has it we have over 22 strands of DNA from alien extraterrestrial life within our consciousness, within our DNA patterns, and this makes us amazing, 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 and that's why everybody wants to keep us down in the shadows and the dark, because we don't know then our own abilities, our own conscious abilities, our ability to expand and be like the superheroes that we see in the movies. Pretty amazing. So when we choose to come into this life, we go, okay, this is what we need to expand. We're going to come into this cycle within the earth at this point in time. Why? Because we knew there was going to be this giant shift. We all knew that we were going to come to this apex of going through the eye of the needle energetically. When we're through this eye of the needle, we're going to come out on the other side, and we will have raised our frequencies not only individually but as a planet, which is pretty flipping amazing. It's really exciting, actually. So when we're on the other side and we choose, okay, we're going to be a Cancer or a Sagittarian or a Capricorn or whatever, we also choose our soul ray frequency. And the frequencies are very fascinating because they work through the chakras, yes, and they go beyond. And the reason or how I came about this is when I was doing readings, I just started asking, what is your soul ray frequency? And everybody would say this, 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 or this. And then I started seeing the patterns, and it's so useful, it's so vital, it's so expansive, and it's so important right now because of the craziness. The more we can learn to access our energetic field, our energetic soul ray frequency, the more you can change, I can change, we can expand and grow together, and I just get so excited. Again, I'm still so excited about choosing this expansive card tonight on the calcite. Love that. I actually have some calcite in my other room. I'd have to put it next to my bed tonight. So again, when we're choosing, going all different directions, when you're choosing rays, most of us no longer choose the beginning rays. We don't choose, many of us don't choose red or orange or yellow. A lot of the souls that say, hey, let's go hang out on the earth zone for a while, let's check it out, they'll dive into that red ray or that orange ray or that yellow ray. Do pets have soul rays? No, they don't need them. They're gaining and they're growing in their own consciousness as they evolve, because pets evolve and change and expand. And 20 years ago, I would have never said that animals incarnate into people. However, I think now I think this is really, really important. The more we can expand and change our beliefs and continue to go, that's a possibility. The more we open up to new ideas, the faster we expand. Has been your greatest achievement amongst everything else? Would you say that's already discovered? I think that would be it's a good one. That's a really good question. I think it has been. I appreciate that. It's insightful, and I use my ray on a daily basis, and I want to share that with everyone. How important. Julie, hey there. How are you? Julie is one of my new friends. She's darling. She's fabulous. She's wonderful. You get to talk, Julie, with Richard in New Zealand and Sheila, who is here. And my son has said that for quite some time. Exactly. You get to talk to Sam in Minneapolis and Chrissy in Georgia. See, all these buddy pals. It's wonderful. Oh, she's from Florida now. Oh, she's in Florida right now. Oh, that's so sweet of you. I got to have a drink of tea. So, I love it. I'm sitting here with all my besties. It's such a treat. So when we choose these frequencies, Julie, we're talking about soul rays and energy and healing and how do we keep the negativity out and how do we stay in alignment. The early frequencies, the early rays, the younger, I'm going to call them in some ways younger rays. They are the red, the orange, and we do have a lot of yellow on the planet still. But the early rays, red, we have those. What they are all about, the red soul rays are all about being the manifestors. They are the X people. They're the ones that will get on their bikes and ride. Have you seen those pictures, those movies where they're on the mountains just and they just sheer drop offs? And I'm just thinking these people are crazy, but they have that zip, that zest for life that if they die, they die. And you know what? There's a blessing in that because they recognize that life is eternal. And so if they lose this body, they return. Groundhog's Day personified. It's pretty fantastic. So those are the red rays. And actually, through all my years of doing this, which has been several decades now, I've only met one I can't say that fast, red ray, and she was female. Oh, love you. I love you too, Julie. You're fabulous. So red rays, again, are very impassioned people and are very much in the immediate. And I'm going to segue to a question because it says, one of the questions was, how can I learn from access some of the other rays and their energy so that even though I'm not a red ray, can I access that to become better so I can work on my own healing so I can grow and expand, right? And absolutely we can. If we need to learn how to be more in the present moment, as an example, wearing red is incredibly, I'm only 33, I know, I love you too. Wearing red as an example is a great way of learning to stay very much in the present, very much in the now, and in that absolute zest for life, that thrill of being alive and knowing that if it were to end tomorrow, it's all okay because you're going to still be alive. That's what red represents. It's that passion, that just that energetic height of the present. And we have this incredible tendency, most of us go off to the right, which is anxiety, future, oh my God, what's going to happen, what if, or we go off into the past going and lament about, oh my God, I did this, and oh, that person really pissed me off. All those things, we go both ways. And being in the present means we stay right there on task. We stay with our eyes forward. That's where the red ray comes in. So if you're having issues with staying in the present, red is a perfect color to work with. And with so much negativity right now, we can take the negative of the red, which is being overzealous, angry, impetuous in unpositive ways, and move that into the positive of being totally in the present and being in our power, our passionate power. And you can do that, like I said, by visualizing red around you, even though it's not your soul ray, and or wearing it. Like women, put on your red bra. How much fun is that, right? Men, you got some of those, instead of whitey tighties, you can put on red. Very cool, right? So red ray, the manifester. So you want to manifest, bring some red into your life. The next soul ray is orange. And they are the ones that say, I feel, right? Because the red is all about I am. Oranges are all about I feel. Ironically, if you think of where the second chakra is, it's between your hips. So it's a very sensual, sexual color that you helped me discover, and I've been drawn to it. It's fantastic. Exactly. Because violet is going to be very ethereal and red is very grounding. And as a violet, it's easy to stay up here and get caught up in just kind of the winds of life. And by bringing red into your life, it's very grounding, keeps you very present, and joins the access point of both. So it's a positive. So, and then orange is all about energy. It's about enthusiasm, childlike wonder. It's intellectual at the same time, because that is a time, again, back to that history aspect where we were expanding, we were growing, we were learning about our surroundings, and that's what orange is about. And so they are the sensual intellect. So if you need to have a little more sensuality in your life, add some orange. Put orange flowers in your house. Wear an orange shirt, an orange tie, because it will bring in that desire to learn. In fact, orange essential oil is a fantastic adjunct that you can put, you know, like on below your ears here, because orange stimulates that intellectual enthusiasm and that excitement. So orange is one of those things you can add in. Again, most people's rays are not orange anymore. There are very few rays on the planet that are orange. They're still here, but it's a small minority. The next energy, and the reason I decided to talk about this tonight is because of the all the political hubbub. We need to know about how we can access our energy, how we can become more of who we are through color, through frequency, through sound. Because if you think of music, it's all about what created us in the beginning. So the more we access this, the more we grow and expand. So the yellows are, their mantra is I do. They are the warriors. And we have a lot of warriors on this planet. And a lot of our political leaders have been yellow, unfortunately. We haven't had many of the higher vibrational frequencies as our leaders. The yellow ray as the warrior are the ones that are all about empowerment or disempowerment. And if you really look, this is not just about America, but if you look around the globe, so many of our leaders from Germany to Canada to New Zealand to America, you name it, have all been, yes, I am also a warrior, is they are all about disempowering. They have the opportunity to empower and they choose the opposite, which is really sad because we all have shadow and light, right? We all work within that framework of shadow and light, and so much of the yellow frequency today has been operating in the shadow. In fact, wasn't there a song that Lady Gaga did about in the shadows, right? Went from their movie that she did with Bradley Cooper when they redid that movie, that one. And it's so perfect because I think even though she's been in the limelight, I think she's actually been very much in the shadows. And we have to all be very mindful of that to operate in the light and the shadows. So we have a lot of shadow warriors right now out there that have been disempowering humanity, which is unfortunate. And some of those have gone even to a darker level, which is also unfortunate, that we will talk about later. And I have not, with the exception of one gal that I worked with, her dad was a yellow ray, because yellow rays are not going to be the one, thank you, you guys remembered it, yellow rays aren't going to be the people to come talk to me. They're just not. They're not interested in expanding their consciousness to be better human beings. They're all about what they can get, what they can do, what they can get, what they can do. You know, it's that kind of energy. And again, as a warrior, they're ready for battle. Now, the reason why Chrissy said, as am I have a halo, my outline, you know, protective against the Klingons is yellow. So I do have warrior in me. And it's definitely a strong archetype in my field. So Chrissy, you're absolutely right. The next vibration is green, which corresponds to the heart. It's all about I love, earth, heart centered energy. And we have more and more heart centered people on the planet, especially here in the Northwest. People who are green rays love being outside. They don't care if it's raining. They need to be around and connected to the earth. However, at the same time, a lot of people choose green ray and they may be stuck in it for a long time, meaning multiple lifetimes, because they need to learn how to access their heart, to learn how to access relationships to themselves, to the earth, to animals, to other people, to one-on-one, you name it. A lot of green rays have difficulties with that, straight up difficulties. Green rays could have, you know, one relationship for their whole life and never be connected, or they could go out and have affairs, or they could go out and have 200 sexual relationships because they are not connected to their heart. Too many green rays tend to go into their intellect and intellectualize their emotions. That's what they're here to learn, is to stay in that heart frequency, in that green light, and come from that place. Let me think, is that anybody in the room tonight? Let me think. Anyway, smart, you know, I had to throw that out. Is to learn how to come from their heart and open up from that heart level. And this is a huge turning point on the planet. So when we visualize how to make the world a better place, visualize the world surrounded in green. And the reason is, and we're known as the blue-green planet, but it's because it vibrates to love and to our heart. So it's really, just joking, so that we can really step up the vibes on the planet, right? So again, visualize it in green light. There we go. The next frequency is blue. I speak. These are the communicators. It's the number one ray on the planet. So think about why we have changed how we communicate around the planet. That is because of the blue ray frequency. It's because so many people chose to come into this life to learn how to communicate. And how perfect is that? That card that I picked for this week is about opening up to our communication. So my invitation to everyone tonight is to communicate with their loved ones, with friends, with people that are on the other side of the political fence in a way that is coming from the heart and communicating from a space of sharing ideas, right? Sharing. Now, why do you believe that way? Please explain that to me. Right? One of those, communication. So communication is big. And you've heard me speak about this before. Blue rays, because it's the number one ray, you can see this globally, this is the shadow side of the blue ray. Blue ray corresponds to the throat, the thyroid meridian, and that deals with the big ones, despair, despondency, depression. So we have a huge issue with despair right now. We have a huge issue with depression, and with this global lockdown that we have been challenged with. So many people, we're community-based folks. We need to be around people. So these people, again, number one ray, are struggling with depression and despair and despondency because it corresponds to here, and we need to be able to communicate. And it's not just through, a Zoom meeting or whatever, or YouTube. It's got to be bigger. So thank you. So communication is huge right now. So again, if you are gearing up for a meeting or a work community meeting, or you're having issues with a spouse or a friend or whomever, think about surrounding yourself with blue. This is, again, even though you may not be a blue ray, expanding blue around you so that you can communicate more clearly or put on blue. Very important, okay? So again, they're the communicators. The next ray is the indigo ray, corresponding to the third eye. They are the visionaries. They're all about seeing from an intuitive base. Greatest gift, greatest challenge, right? Their greatest gift is to be intuitive. Their greatest challenge is to be intuitive, just like all the other rays. Greatest gift to communicate, greatest gift to love, greatest challenge, on and on and on. So thank you, Chrissy. You're awesome. So visionaries, right? They are people here that can be hanging out on the ceiling because it's very hard for them to stay grounded because they're always living in the ethers. They're very connected to their third eye and trying to open up that connective, intuitive piece and break away the calcium within their pituitary and pineal glands, right? Especially the pineal glands. So visionaries are here to go to the future and bring back very enlightened information and be very connected. So greatest gift, greatest challenge. So if you need to have more of that in your life, having the ability to kind of move into your future so that you can, exactly, good point, Sheila, so that you can access more of your intuitive gifts, because we all have it, whether we choose to activate it or not. Visualize indigo. Again, we are going to borrow from the other rays so that we can be more energetically alive. Because that's what this is all about, right? What are we here for? So indigo, I have all this in my book, but I wrote it down so I didn't forget anything. That's why I keep looking down. So the next one corresponds to our crown, which is the violet, just like Richard was saying. Violet is, their mantra is, I understand. And they are the seers. There is a difference between being a seer and a visionary. A visionary goes to the future, comes up with these great ideas, brings them back in, puts them into manifesting. Seers have the ability to just see, and I always say this in a funny way, 365 degrees around us, right? Like 365 days. They have the ability to see things. Greatest gift, greatest challenge. The violet light, though, is a tough ray because you can experience 100 lives in one lifetime. So not that many people choose this frequency because most people just want to go through one life at a time. However, when you're on the other side, you go, I'm tough, I'm great, I'm wonderful, I'm going to shoot in, and I'm going to choose all, all of the different things, your body, your family, your astrological sign, and you choose your soul ray. You say, I can do it because I want to accelerate my expansion very quickly so that I can move on, because I just am so excited about doing so many things. And then you get here, amnesia sits in, and you're going, okay, now why did I choose that? Because this just happened, this just happened, this just happened. The key with all of this is for you, every one of us, to remember why we chose to be here, what we chose here to learn, what we chose here to access. And in this case with the violet is to be the seer, to activate that. And then you're going, okay, I can do this. And then things start to not pile up, because I don't care if you're red, green, blue, indigo, doesn't matter, is that things can pick up. Yeah, exactly. Meditation is huge. So when you step into this frequency, then things start to go one step at a time, and it's like magic. I'll give you a simple example today. Totally in my alignment, woke up, focused on it, and my phone rang literally from 9 o'clock till 3 o'clock. And one phone call would hang up, the next one would call. Next one, I mean, it was just like magic. So when you're in alignment, even things like that line up together. So again, the more you're in alignment in your light every day, and you access it with your color because it's your vibration that you chose in this life and many lifetimes, then you can accelerate your manifesting ability, your ability to heal your body, your ability to understand and be calm about what's going on. Take in all the nonsense by just observing it instead of taking it on internally. So the next one is the pink ray. Pink rays are the impressionists. Their mantra is I share. Pink rays are the souls that choose to live a short life, and they are the ones that come in to leave impressions on the souls around them, the children that never hit 20. Some maybe hit 20 and then they're gone. Now that doesn't mean that every child that dies at 10 or 13 or 15 is a pink ray. The ones that are the pink rays are the ones that leave these giant impressions in all of our hearts. The one we see on the TV channel, the news, and this child, this, and everybody's so in love with this child. That's a pink ray. You can spot them. You can just feel them. And it doesn't matter what we do. They are never going to go beyond, because that is their soul contract. We have to remember everything we do, everything we experience is because we decided, not some overbearing judgmental God. We decided what we came here to experience, what we are here to do and be and grow within and from. That is our choice. So when you know that, it brings you back into your power zone, which is really good. The next ray is the silver ray, I create, and they are the techno wizards. They are the ones that are emotionally pretty much inept. My example has always been Mark Zuckerberg. However, he's gone so beyond into his shadow that it's just sad. I just send him light, because he's totally into his shadow. He just is. He's a bot. He is totally a bot. But so much of that, too, in his defense, is because as a techno wizard, you're so into creating that you have forgotten how to be totally in your alignment of light. And in his defense, too, it turns out that he is, oh God, which lineage? Rockefeller or a Rothschild? I think it's a Rothschild, because his actual name is German, Rothschild. So he's all connected in the system. So don't we love that? We're not going to, I have to stay very mindful not to go too far down that rabbit hole, because I don't want to lose this. I'm brand new at this. So anyway, the next ray is the gold. I teach wisdom keepers. They're the wisdom keepers out here. One of my favorite gold rays, he's not in my book actually, because I wrote it so long ago, is Freddie Silva. He has great sense of humor. He loves to teach ancient wisdom, and he comes from a place of joy. He is a total gold ray, and he's out there making things happen. Look him up if you don't know who he is, Freddie Silva. Awesome. The crystal rays are coming onto the planet today. There are a lot of children's now that are the crystals, and their mantra is I perceive, and they are the illuminators. They're the little children that will drive you crazy. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Mark has 0. He is not there. He's a bot. The crystal rays are the ones that mirror back to us our moods. You know, if you think about children, and they play off the adults anyway, and then these children are very sharp. They're very, very together. A friend of mine's granddaughter is a crystal, and she's hilarious because she just, you know how a crystal, do I have one? Yeah, I do. Think about this. When you have this particular, and this could be your cranky side, and then you move it here, and because you moved, they shifted over here, and all of a sudden they're reflecting back to you a completely different energy field. Because why? They are the illuminators. They are illuminating what you are doing and what is going on in your world. They came in here to shift things just because, from that perspective of illuminating the world through their own light. So putting it out there, it's pretty awesome. And then we have the rainbow children. And we have had rainbows, whereas the crystal ray is more of a newer ray in terms of our evolution. We have had rainbow rays off and on throughout the centuries that have seeded and brought light into the spectrum. Their mantra is I embrace, and they're all about universal unity. And because of us moving into the Aquarian energy field, they are doing more, they are bringing more of that energy into the newborns that are coming in with more rainbow energy, which is really incredible. I love this. So now that we've kind of got a spectrum of what the rays are, all of you here know what your rays are. The key, of course, is when you wake up, when you go to sleep, always, again, the prayer, the hands of prayer, I always do this because it's aligning your chakras, and it aligns your heart with your pituitary and pineal and up. When you are in that alignment, then you see this light around you. You will be able to manage and navigate through any kind of water. Even if things piss you off or make you cranky or hurt your feelings, if you make sure you're in alignment, then you can look at it through a new lens, because you recognize that the person throwing out the barbs is dealing with their own inadequacies, their own ego issues. If somebody has to shame and blame you, somebody obviously has done that to them. So it gives you a completely different perspective when you're in this light. Okay, so from this energy field, it's a super place to be. So I'm going to go back to, let me see any other questions. Okay, Chrissy had asked, how do you feel energy between your hands, or can you see them? And does the soul ray affect your energy in any way? And when you're, the frequency of your soul is a vibration. So it's, I wish I had a monitor so you can measure the megahertz, right, on it, like the solfeggio frequencies as they raise up, the energy fields. I play those a lot so that the energy of my body, my energy fields continually is cleared out, and then you put that into your soul ray. So in Chrissy's, she's a green, so she puts the green around her, right? So you're in that, and so does that affect your energy? Absolutely affects your energy, because if you're over here in the shadow, you're going to be not hooked up essentially to your electrical grid, your electrical light grid, right? This, we want to plug into the universal frequencies so that we light up like a Christmas tree. So absolutely it affects our energy. It's a great question. So you want to come back here and then come in this space. Now, to feel the energy, you can do this yourself, right? Go like this with your hands, and then start doing, and then start doing this, and then you can start feeling it, and then you can start growing it, and then growing it and growing it, and you're going, oh, and then you can start moving it this way and growing it, and just and through intention, just keep playing with it and expanding it and growing it and growing it. Energy right here, growing it, growing. And then if you have somebody else that you're working with, you can take that energy and see it, visualize it. And in this case, we'll use Chrissy, your green. Visualize that as green, which is love, light, healing, and then send that to somebody that you, like your child, and you put that green energy onto them, and that will then calm them down, make them feel warmer, stronger together with their heart. It will help with any kind of injury or upset stomach or whatever, right? You just put that energy into them. So again, rub your hands together, feel it right here, let that energy grow out, and start playing with it. Father's also raised, maybe then I can understand it more. Chrissy, you can do that too. That is a great question. How about we do that after this tonight, since that's a more personal question, and I will be happy to answer that. Will that work? That'll be great. So this is how you work with the energy. Okay, so now that we've gone through all the energy, I want to see any other questions. Okay, I already got the how do you change your energy from negative to positive. So when you're outside your light, that's when you're in the negative space. When you're in your light and you're connected, start focusing through clear intention on something you love. It could be something as simple as your cat, your dog, your son, your daughter, your, oh, I love this, your sunrise. I don't care. Focus on something that really makes you feel positive. That's how you shift energetically from the negative to the positive, by being in your light, being connected to source, and focusing on that which brings you joy. Then you can move out of the negativity and bring it back into this consciousness, right? This consciousness. So when you're in your light, stay in this alignment. Then play with the energy. Play with the energy. And again, when you're playing with your energy, it takes you out of the negativity that has been playing out there. Thank you to the new people showing up. We were talking about energy and how do we deal with all the negative energy that has been bombarded in our space on a regular basis, to the point where you're going Looney Tunes. So what we have been talking about has been our soul ray frequencies, which is an energetic light grid around us. I just went through all 12 different frequencies, because when we're in our alignment of light, then we can ward off the negativities. We actually put up a shield, like warding off the Klingons, and then you have the ability to change your negative thoughts and frequencies into a positive one when you are in alignment with your light, okay? In your alignment with your light. Again, imagine a circle of light above you, below you, around you. You have a boundary right here so that this Teflon allows the negative news, the misinformation that has been bombarded. We've been bombarded with so many lies. And this is a very important piece to everyone right now, is when you're in alignment with your higher self and source, when you're in this alignment of light, you have the ability to hear the truth, because there is so much mistruth, untruth, so many lies out there, and to learn how to cipher through it, yeah, it's unbelievable. When you're over here, you're not going to hear, you don't have the clear discernment when you're over here. This is out of your light. When you're in your light, you can hear the truth. And this is absolutely 150% essential right now, to be able to discern the lies and the truth. The lies and the truth, because that's what we're here to do right now as humanity, to wake up. We are here to hear the truth so that we can then intentionally act upon it, because we have been in complacency as a species for far too long. It's time to act on our intention, our thoughts, our love, our alignment from this place, and draw that line that says, no, we're not going to do this anymore. No, as humanity, we're going to join forces with each other. We're going to love each other, and we're going to say no to the bullshit, okay? Very important. How do we do this? Again, is when we are in alignment with our light, okay? When we see our light above us, below us, around us. This is the key. And thank you to the new people showing up right now. You must be coming off another live or another situation. I appreciate you joining me. Tonight, my topic is about energy and how we deal with, oh, I get goosebumps about this, the negative energies that we are dealing with, and how easily it is for us to be taken down the rabbit hole of negativity and into the shadow of our own selves. When we have shadow that shows up in our life in external pieces, it's there as a reminder. It is a mirror into our own life. So when you're in alignment with your light, you are shining your light out to others. They pick up on it. Like, for example, all the other people that when we first started in this live, they're shining their light with one another. They feel better. When we reach out, when we're in alignment with our heart, our intuition, our higher self and source, we send out that energy in a place and space that is incredibly life-altering. It is our way of manifesting very quickly and it is our way of changing the frequency on the planet right now. We are moving into a very big day tomorrow, not only in the United States, but globally. And because of this, it is so important for all of us, every one of us, to be in this alignment within ourselves with the divine consciousness, recognizing that we are all connected. And how we do this is through the light within us. Now, what's so exciting about that is if each one of us, from me to you, wherever you guys are in the world, and we were all cells in a body, and we are all lit up like a Christmas tree, imagine, one, how healthy that body would be. There is a story, actually, that's in our original creation, that the Elohim are a great big body, and we are cells of light within their bodies. So to use that analogy actually has a lot of truth. So if we all are within our energy fields and within our light, how exciting is this? Not only do our bodies get healthier, our minds get healthier, our souls become lighter and happier and healthier, we change the planet. And the only way we do that is with each other. So let's see if there are any other questions. I hope that makes sense. Before I started, I had a bunch of people send me questions. Okay, here's another good question. This is another thing on energy. How can changing my living workspace energetically improve my focus? When you, first of all, start out your day, when you wake up, make sure you're in alignment with your higher self, in your light, okay? Then look around your workspace. This happens to be my office where I'm sitting right now. And you have to work in a space that you can do feng shui and all the alignments there. And at the same time, because I'm not a feng shui practitioner in that sense of the word, I do it with how it feels. But the most important part is that the energy flows in your workspace. And when it does, again, energetically, you have the ability to be more focused, more in tune with what, again, your present moment is. And when you are in that present moment, you have the ability then to manifest what you need to do for work, what you need to manifest for your family, whatever it is that you're focusing on in that day. So again, because again, your family could be at the end of the day, if your workspace is in alignment with that energetic field. For example, in my workspace, I have a lot of rocks, I have a lot of gems, I have a lot of crystals. That works for me. So you have to go with what energy fields work for you. It could be color. Mine happens to be a rich gold. That works for my energy fields. I think putting your office in your soul ray frequency is very important. For those new people, this is what we're talking about. Soul rays, discover the vibratory frequency of your soul. I wrote this long ago, but it's just as applicable when I wrote it to today. So you can look at your office, your workspace, and put it into a tone of your soul ray frequency, because that is also very energizing and in alignment with your energy fields. So that's another one I'm going to see. I wrote down everybody's questions. Let me see what else. Let's see. How do I instruct others to deal into their own healing abilities? That's a good question. Oh, how can I instruct others? Okay, good question. The question is, I different ones had sent me once, and then I wrote them down. Then, of course, I have to make room through my chicken scratch. It says, how can I instruct others to deal and to improve into their own healing abilities? Thank you, Sheila. You're awesome. Okay, you want to access your own healing abilities, which means tuning into your body, which means tuning into your consciousness of your cells, your systems, your organs, your bones, your tissues, everything, right? Well, it starts out every day, again, with your soul ray frequency. And when you're in that light, again, above you, below you, around you, again, you have boundaries, and you stay grounded to the planet, and yet your consciousness is connected to the higher dimensional frequencies. When you are in that alignment, you have then the ability to start working energetically on your body to heal it, okay? Let's say something is out of alignment. So you go within yourself and take that quiet moment and then just kind of feel it. What you can do then is, we'll just randomly come up with something, okay? Let's say that you had been out and you were a hiker or a skier or a biker or whatever, and you twisted your left knee. We're gonna just go with that. So what you can do is, again, in your light, and then tune into that knee, because This is what I do, folks. I have been an energetic healer now for decades, and I can get down to the nitty-gritty of the bone, the tissues, the joints, you name it. People who've worked with me, I can move the bones. I love bones. They're so much fun. So I'm speaking from experience. I'm speaking from actually doing this. So if I can give you a tool tonight that can help you, I'm all over it. So again, imagine that you had injured your left knee because of something, right? Nothing major where you have to go to the doctor or anything. And even then I avoid the doctor. But anyway, is visualize the light. First of all, always start with the light around you. Always start from that space and place, with it above you, below you, around you. I repeat this, repeat this, repeat this. And the reason I do this, because people forget. And when you forget, you don't change, right? You have to be willing to do the work. We become complacent, folks. We have to be willing to do the work. And the work means you start it in the morning in your light. You go to sleep in your light. You are connected. So then when you're in that space, you go with your consciousness in that alignment, take deep breaths, and you go into that knee. And you work with that knee. Thank you, Chrissy. That's right. And you go into that space, and then you kind of feel where it's off, and then you send your intention from your brain into that knee and start working with that energy field, okay? Then what you can also do is, like I started, for those who are just new, is you put your hands together, feel it, and then start feeling the energy. Excuse me, I got a tickle in my eye. Feel the energy between your hands, okay? And you can feel it, and then visualize within that this healing ball of energy. And then you drop that down and you put it over that knee, and then you allow that energy. I guess I could put my knee up here, barely. Put that energy over that knee and let it sit there. And while you're there, visualize it going into the crevices and the cracks, the cracks and crevices. Actually, I'm one of those who's very, very specific. Is you go into the kneecap, into the joints, the tissues, the connective tissues, the nerves, the energetic nerves, all of the aspects of the knee and its connection to the tibia and the fibia and the femur and all of that. You go into this in your intention and send that energy there. Now when I work, I do it very specifically. I use my hands and we go into it, and I can do it from here, from me to you and to New Zealand, doesn't matter. Richard, I love using you as my example. But this is how you can begin to start accessing your own healing abilities. The key is, one, believing in yourself. Belief is everything. That's what sets me apart from you guys, is because I believe I can do it. I can do this. Well, okay, I can try that too. You have to get into the mindset of believing that you have the abilities to do it, because we, let's segue for 2 seconds, have at least 22 different strands of extraterrestrial DNA within us, which comes from a myriad of planetary existences out there that have made us super beings. We just have forgotten that little piece. So when you recognize that you have the ability to correct and enhance and heal your body like a super being, you can do this. So this is a great way to start. Always start in your light, start in your alignment, and then focus that energy into those places that need alignment. I do not start my day without going through everything within my body first before I get out of bed. So it could take you 20 minutes, it could take you 10 minutes, it could take you a minute. But the fact of your intention of that alignment is what changes your abilities and your power. The more you do it, the more you believe in it, the more you believe in it, the more it happens. The knee is better. All of a sudden you're out there, back there, hiking, kayaking, whatever it is you're doing. So instead of going, oh, I better go see the doctor, say, okay, the doctor is myself. What can I do to improve it? Now, on that side, back to energy for just a second, even though we've been talking about your soul ray, energy is everything. Everything is energy. It just is. That includes food. Food has an energetic power. So if you are aware of what you're eating, the better your health will be, because you're more in alignment with that frequency of food. Again, we were talking about soul rays. If you're, oh, there you go. That's a great thing, Sheila, is you reach out for the foods in your soul ray group. For example, if you're a green ray, you eat green foods. If you're a blue ray, you eat blue foods, etc., because it enhances your vibratory patterning. And when that happens, you are more of that superhero. I mean, who doesn't want to be a super being, right? We have those abilities when we start with intention and mindfulness on a regular basis. Very important. Now, what I would like to do next, I want to see if I got everybody's questions. Got that one, got that one. So again, I'm going to go back to this one question one more time. How do we shift out of the negative into the positive? And this is how we do it, is in this alignment of our light around us. And you're going to go, I've heard this 1,000 times, and then I'm going to repeat back to you. I'm going, are you doing it? And you're going to go, no. So that's why I repeat, repeat, repeat. So you're going, oh, that's right. Soul ray, put my light above me, around me, below me, because that's where where we can start to change things. Now, I had a request earlier for those who are interested in staying with me a little bit longer to do a meditation. We were going to watch David Wilcock, who was on at 6, was supposed to be, and it was Groundhog's Day. It kept repeating. They couldn't get out of the loop. And so then one of my friend clients asked me if I would be willing to do a meditation. Because why? Because we need, this is our access point, guys, is to go within ourselves. I have to go, and thanks for the value of your time. Thank you from Oregon all the way to New Zealand. Richard, you're a gem. Thank you so much for being part of my circle. Thank you. So if any of you are interested in staying for a meditation to help change the vibrations and frequencies, not only of the negativity and the disparaging and the blaming and the shaming globally in the United States, please stay with me, because everybody, when we change this light or move out of the shadow into the light, we can change the world. A meditation has been proven to lift crime rates. It has been, prayer and meditation is shown to improve our health. I mean, it's such a wonderful thing. So I took the time to write up a meditation tonight. Let me, actually, you know what I'm going to do? Hope you don't mind. I am going to, so I don't make noise and distract you, I'm going to set them out so that I can just read this, because it was longer than I wanted, and because I just thought it was important. Again, we have major things happening, and I really would like to get rid of the, or shift, let's put it that way. I'd really like to see all the rioting shift into a better place of vibration, because when people are destructive and they maim and they shame and they steal, that is not a high vibration, folks. That is not the way to positive change. Positive change, like Martin Luther, came from the heart. Love that guy. And he was all about coming from this level. When you go out and rape and pillage, that does not change the planet. It does not put us in a positive spin at all. So it all comes back to all of us. We have to be the ones to help change that. And we do that by being love, sharing love, being gracious, being kind, being in our own sense of bliss, even if we're locked down. So this is how we do this. So, oh, that's that great song, right? This is how we do it. Anyway, sorry. The meditation tonight. So if you would like to stay with me, I would like to do a meditation. You know what I'm going to do? Actually, I am going to pull up the solfeggio music to go in the background, because I think it's perfect. I hadn't thought about that till right this minute, so give me just 2 seconds. It's going to come up here, and away we go. Well, let's hope YouTube doesn't take me off because of infringement rights, all of that stuff, right? Rock. Oh, I'm all right. Oh, is that hilarious? Is that a great song to put on? I'm all right, Kenny Loggins? Because we are all right, right? Okay, that was weird. That would be one of those things that I would call a ghost in the machine of my higher intuitive beings up there that are putting in their energy and their intuitive insights into our group tonight. So anyway, I want to thank all of you for being with me. I mean, there are a billion channels out there that you can be tuned into, and I am really grateful that you are here with me. Again, my name is Candia Sanders, and I'm truly grateful. In fact, right now I'm getting goosebumps from it. So I am really grateful to all of you and your big hearts and being willing to be a part of this to help shift what's going on in the planet. Again, I'm getting big goosebumps all the way down, because we're almost at 100 people right now, and 100 people can make dramatic changes on the planet. So with that said, I want everybody to please get comfortable. If you need to, turn off a light, find a pillow, get comfortable, listen to my voice. Don't worry, I'll tune it down a little bit because I get so excited about things. And Let's work into this. Oh, good. Tracy, you're staying too. I love that. I appreciate the feedback, guys. So, okay, I just want you to listen. Now, the music that I put on, the solfeggio, is all about clearing out our chakras as we do this. So, okay, I want everybody to get comfortable, close your eyes, relax, and take a deep breath. We are all joining together in unity tonight to help positively shift for our highest and best good the direction of our planet. I'd like you all to visualize a beautiful light surrounding you, above you, below you, and all around. Take another deep breath and sit comfortably within this beautiful light, this illuminating, effervescent, phosphorescent light. See the top of your crown and arc that beautiful bright light from your crown through your light bubble of which you are sitting in, and reach it out into space through the stars, through all the galactic glitter, to our center, to the black hole of consciousness where the stillness point resides. Sit in this quiet. Feel the presence of all that is. Feel the consciousness of the universe. Feel every cell of your personal consciousness, blending the energies into wholeness. Fill your heart with love, the most all-encompassing feeling of immensity, grandeur, bliss, delight, and love. Breathe it in to your very fiber of your soul. Now, in a gentle moment, allow your consciousness to glide back to your body with this newfound, forever grace-filled love. This light floods your very essence. As you bring this light into your heart, see it expanding beyond your body, beyond your personal boundary of light, to shine brightly on the town in which you live, showering confetti of love to all beings, all creatures of consciousness. Expand that loving light to your state, your province, your place of residence. See the light illuminate the dark shadows of negativity. Like a sunrise, all are bathed in this beautiful light. Extend that light essence over the entire country. See people who are angry, relax. smile and be kind to their neighbors and to strangers. Spread the love light around the world so the entire planet is dancing in the joy of grace. See the world transform in the beauty of universal awareness. Feel the energetic shift. Sense the love creating higher frequencies of connection with all things, all beings, all time frames. As you send your energy back to your body, feel the global shift within yourself. Feel the positive direction we as a species are in and moving towards in this eternal now. As you return your consciousness to your heart center, be aware of the magic that has energized all of your systems and cells from your connection with divine presence. Know that you have been part of this global consciousness awareness shift. Smile within yourself. Take a deep breath and return to your awakened consciousness. And when you are here and you are back, let me know if you are back. I want to thank all of you for participating because I feel that we will see visible changes from what we just did, the energy we just put out. We had up to 130 people at one point, and when we do that, we have the ability to change so many things, not only within ourselves, but within the world around us. At one point, I have to say, I got tears in my eyes, and I had to really think about what I was saying because I was so joy-filled that everybody was participating in something of, I feel, to be of magnitude. So I want to thank each and every one of you for participating, for being part of this live tonight, and showing what we can do as human beings to come together, because we are all one, we are all connected through energy and frequency, and when we are in alignment with our light and with each other and with divine consciousness, we have the ability to literally move our world into the new earth, into the new frequency. So I want to thank all of you for participating tonight. I am very heart-filled and moved. So, see, I get teary. With that, I'm going to send you all a happy good night. Thank you. Thank you. I can feel it. It's why I get all emotional. So with that, I send each of you lots of love. And let's pray for the best for tomorrow and for the next week and for the next month. Remember that the card to focus on this week is all on calcite, which is all about expansion of energies and consciousness. And I'm glad you want to come back. Love you too. So thank you all again for participating. I will be here next Monday, 7 o'clock Pacific time. Thank you to all the newbies that showed up tonight. I'm really grateful you were participating. This is important. I mean, this is how we change the world, one person at a time, and through all of us being connected. So with that, again, my name is Candia Sanders. You can check out my website, candiasanders.com, really easy, and candiasanders.blog for any more information. And if you're interested in any more in soul rays, this is what we were talking about tonight. Soul rays discover the vibratory frequency of your soul, and it is truly life-changing. I know this from doing energy work for decades now. When you are in your light and your alignment with source, you have the ability to change worlds. So with that, I send you all love and light, and good night.